All right, y'all, this is the next phase. As you can see, I have added all my vegetables. They're cooking right here in my little skillet. I'm going to reduce this heat a little bit. And here are the greens over here. And what you're going to see me do is I'm going to start to add these greens to this mixture here. I'm not really worried about it. You know, I'm going to put them in there. Now, as y'all can see, I'll put those greens in there, right? And then I'm going to put this top back on it. And I'm going to let them cook. Now, what's going to happen is those are going to tender down. Now, those greens are going to cook. They'll wither down, and as they wither down, they're going to go in this pot of solution right here, which is that's my broth. That is a beef base. I use bouillon cubes and water. I didn't have any beef stock. So there's some bouillon cubes and water. Got it all seasoned up. I even dropped a bay leaf off up in there. And I might even drop mint thyme. I don't freaking know. I'll taste it. Because, you know, I just like flavors in mine. But needless to say, I'll show y'all when I do that. But as those greens cook down, I'll transfer those greens from this pot into this pot. And then after everybody's cooked down real good, then I'll pour all those vegetables over into this pot and just let them cook. All right? I'll be back. So I'm checking back in now. So as y'all can see, I've restocked my greens. Those were the greens that were over in the sink. All right, I'm gonna take this top off here. When you look right here, see how these greens they cook now? See how they're a nice light color green. They look new. But boy, when I showed you the finished product, all right, see how they're cooking down in that boil and all those flavors are getting into them? Now all I'm gonna do, gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to continue to add these greens, and these greens are going to continue to reduce. So I'll just take a bunch of them. Add them in there. Take a bunch of them. Add them in there. A little bit more. Add them in there. Put my top back on. There we go. I'll be back. All right, team, I'm back again. I'm finna remove this top. As you can see how them greens done cooked all down? And look what I have left. So here we go. I'm finna add some more greens, the rest of them. Bingo. 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 All right. Bingo. All right, as y'all can see, I've added the rest of those greens. I'm going to let those wither down and cook. Now I want to show y'all something. Y'all have noticed I've added a fresh pot over here. Now this is a pot of brown rice. I'm going to make my wife some brown rice. Y'all, I'm going to be eating, I'm going to zero in a little bit. See if y'all can get it. That is cauliflower rice. That is actual cauliflower that I grated up. It's still frozen, so it kind of the chunks look a little big, but but I'll boil that, and that's what I'll eat because I am on this ketonic. I'm not saying that right, but it is a low to no carb, high fat diet, and the catch is you want to make sure you're using all natural fats. Like bacon grease, lard. It has to be real fat, butter, the good fat, all right? And you can eat all the protein you want, which is the meat. So I'm eating my greens. As y'all can see, I use nothing but meat, and I'm using the grease from the meat. And then I'll be, that'll substitute for my starch. I'm also gonna make her a little gravy, but now the pork chops that we bake, they made a nice broth with that. I'll use the juice off of that, and I'm probably gonna cook up. And I'll probably make up some carrots. Now carrots are they're on the list, but not on the list. But I can cook my carrots away to where I can add them to my cauliflower, give it a nice flavor. Can't have the cornbread and things of that nature, but it's helping y'all. What I can tell y'all is I started on this plan back in the second week in January. We're now going into the third week of February. I've currently lost 27 pounds. I got a long way to go, y'all. I got to lose 167 pounds. That's all I'm going to tell y'all. So Mr. Bull got to get this weight down. As you can see, that water's boiling. So what you're going to do is reduce your heat. Hey, guys, you're making rice. Remember, read the bag. I'm going to reduce that heat. Then I'm going to take this top, put that top on it, and let that joker go. All right? It'll be ready in about 20 minutes or so or whatever. I'll check it out. Turn it off. That's for her. I'll do something similar with the cauliflower rice as well. I'll take that, use a little butter, cut up a few, I got some onions left over there, a little garlic, put it in there, just let it cook. It'll give it a nice little flavor, season it up. And then I might, cut me some carrots up to go in there with it. And that'll give me, a third dish when I plate my food, So I have me some chops with some greens and some cauliflower, all vegetables. Hey, all I can tell y'all is it's working. Look it up, Ketonic. Hey, check out Butter Bob. Butter make your pants fall off. Will crack you up. Dare y'all to watch it. Hey, I'll check back in and show you the final product. But let me do this right quick and show y'all. See, it's already starting to cook down, guys. Y'all see that? Already starting to cook down. And now after this here, I'm going to take these greens, flip them jokers over to this here pot, let them go for about an hour and a half or so. Let them cook. I like mine tender. My wife want them tender, so they'll be tender and ready. And that's it. I'll check back later. Okay, team. There are your greens. All those greens are fed in that pot, fit in the cast iron skillet. Now, I'm finna transfer these greens over to this pot of broth, okay? All right? And that's what they're gonna finish cooking in. That's more than enough water, okay? I might have to add a little bit more, not sure. I'll taste them. I might have to drop another cube in there or so on and so forth. But now, let me explain something to y'all about cast iron. While you can finish cooking your greens in this cast iron skillet, that is not a problem. You can definitely do that. But what I want to caution you about is this. This is iron. First of all, cast iron can never be put in a dishwasher. It only can be cleaned with, mild soap and water, all right, and it needs to stay oiled. Now, while you do have some fat in there, that is water, and you do not want your greens sitting up in cast iron because it will start to taste on that, it will take on that metal flavor. So either way it go, after you cook them, you got to get them out of there anyway. You just can't leave some watery greens sitting in some metal because that metal will give it that flavor. Take my word for it. I know what I'm talking about. I have had this happen to me in the past. Typically when I made my cornbread, hot water cornbread in the oven, let my cornbread stay in there, all day, overnight, just cover. The next thing you know, the next day, our cornbread tasting like steel. All right. With that being said, I'm going to transfer these greens over to this pot, and then it's going to stew for about an hour to hour and a half, 2 hours, I don't know, till they're tender. And y'all, check out that color. See how that color, they done started to get a little darker? Oh yeah, y'all, it's finna be on. They're gonna be ready. I'll be back. All right, team, I'm back. Now check this out. As you can see, the greens are cooking. I got them set on about a medium heat. They're gonna stew. Like I said, probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours. I don't freaking know. Until they're ready. Honestly, you can eat them right now if you want to, but not me. I want them to cook. Now I want to show y'all something about this cast iron skillet. This is the cast iron skillet that I just cooked those greens in and sauteed the vegetables. As you can see, I've cleaned the skillet out and see how nice and shiny it is. I washed this with some soap and water and my little old scrubber and scrubbed it good. Then I dried it and I took some vegetable oil. Now y'all, I don't use vegetable oil and all that anymore because it's just not a part of my diet. I can't use it. I have to use natural fats. But since I had so much of it in the house, I do use it because I've always done this anyway. I just put about a half a cup full of oil in there, took a paper, and took my hand and rubbed around in there, and I just coated that. And then I took a paper towel and just went over the inside, the outside, the whole thing. I just greased it. Now, if you look over there, this is the top. By the way, gentlemen and ladies, this is a Dutch oven. So you can cook it. This is a Dutch oven, okay? You can get this thing at Cracker Barrel. Wonderful. All right, now, if you notice in now, see that little old greasy looking stuff? That's bacon fat. Whenever I cook bacon, even if I don't pour it off, like I showed y'all earlier, I leave it because it's coating. And whenever I need it, all I gotta do is heat it up, throw my vegetables in there, and I'm ready to go. Because it's bacon fat, man. It is what it is. And it's just wonderful. So a lot of times I'll leave it in there. If I, that bacon got cooked a couple of days ago, and I just left it there. I didn't take it out, but I'll take this. Stick that joke on the top. Set her over to the side where she belongs, where I keep her, and that's it. So, y'all, these are the greens. They're going to cook a couple more hours. About another hour or so. They're pretty much done. And you can see the rice is boiling. I'm going to pull these pork chops out and get ready to make a little gravy. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. When my wife get home from church, she'll have a nice meal ready for her to snack a little bit. All right. I might be back, I might not, but pretty much, oh, sorry. Yes. Always taste your food. Now, when we were preparing this, you noticed I showed y'all Tony Chachere's, seasonal, pink salt. And then, of course, I'm using bacon and pork and all that. All that's got salt in it. Taste it. Now, I actually need, because I didn't use a lot. I was very, I was very cautious with it. So I didn't use a lot of those, all right? I wanted to get that bite. So it has a spice to it, but it was missing a little flavor. So what I ended up doing was I put about the one between a teaspoon and a tablespoon, about a half a tablespoon of salt. I put a little more sugar in it. Then I used a seasonal. All right, I didn't use the Tony's because it's already got too much kick. I got a little kick in it. You can taste the spice. I put a little sugar and a little more seasonal. Then I sprinkled me some powders. I added a little garlic powder, onion powder. Just kind of like just re-seasoned everything. And it was right where I needed to be. And then I'm just going to let that joker ride, okay? Oh, by the way, and if it was too salty, let's say if it would have been too salty. At this stage, gentlemen, you can pull some of that water off, that broth off, add you some water to lessen that salt, and then bring it back up. So you have a chance to where you can take some of that salt out of it, okay? So, hey, you can work with it. Remember, you must always taste your food. Taste it. If you don't like it, they ain't gonna like it, okay? So remember, you gotta like it, and here's a sign that you know your food is good. If you taste your food and you go, Google moogle, then you know you did the right thing. Peace.